Hi Pratik,
Hi.
how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. So, in today's video, I wanted to have a very interesting discussion actually with you regarding the right use of typography
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to brand building.
Yeah, that's a cool topic to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have been hearing that fonts that we choose for a brand is something that reflects our brand personality. So, how does this actually work?
Well, you might have heard that a font like Times New Roman is used for law firms, and
Yeah.
whereas a font like Helvetica is used for tech brands. Uh, there are no set standards like Times New Roman should be used for law firms, or Helvetica and should be used for tech brands. It's just the standardization of the font. So every font has its perception and is like a use case. We can categorize them into traditional and modern fonts. So basically, sans and sans serif font. Times New Roman, being a traditional and a serif font category, is widely used by law firms and other government organizations simply because they want to be perceived that way. Another example that I can give you is, for example, if there's any indie brand, you will
Mhm.
probably see them using like fonts with curves, or not a traditional kind of font. They use a modern kind of font because they want to be perceived that way.
I think Indigo is an example.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The way they have introduced their phones.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, kind of getting what you want to convey.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, that's clear. But you might have also seen that there are a few brands who are, experimenting a lot with their fonts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like they use cursive fonts in their heading, and a very different font is being followed in the body section.
Yeah.
So it's like, are these variations okay to experiment?
No, 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 not really. You can experiment this variation in the, what you can say, the initial phase of building your brand. And what I mean by initial phase of building your brand, you don't release these fonts as your header font or your
Okay.
body font. You just experiment what it's looking good. Once it's approved by your stakeholders, approved by your senior designers or designers, you
Hmm.
then release it as a like a header font and a body font in an official brand guideline book. Brand guideline book is very important to tackle such problems because once it's done, you can send this out to like your partners or the designers in your team. So it will avoid that inconsistency of fonts. And also, speaking about inconsistency of fonts, uh, like text matter or your font matter is very important because it's basically how you're going to communicate with your audience or with your
Yeah.
stakeholders or partners or whatever your target audience is. Imagine an official document written in Comic Sans MS. So like that will be very funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, like consistency is very important when it comes to like brand building for the fonts. And also you should maintain a visual hierarchy as well. So, and what I mean by visual hierarchy is you can't expect your body font to be bolder than your header font. Of
True.
course, there are exceptions where you might want to try something contemporary or something like that. But basically, you can't expect your body font to be bolder than your header font because whenever I see any textual matter, my first eyes should always go into the header part and then the body part. So header font should be what impactful, or like a it should have more weight than your body font, and body font should be kind of a supporting text to the header font.
It was really precise, like
Yeah.
whatever you said, and thanks a lot for these good insights. Now, this reminds me of one more question that I have personally. That's about legibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is legibility, and is it different from readability?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Legibility is very different from readability. Legibility, I would say, is a part of readability. Legibility basically means how well you can distinguish those letters from in a word, and readability basically means how well you can perceive the whole of the textual matter. Like how well you can perceive, you can comprehend the whole of the textual matter. So legibility comes under readability.
All right.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I had that small confusion.
Yeah, true, true, yeah.
Okay, so I think this is pretty much like you very well summarized everything about typography. Like right from the first thing that the different types of fonts that are there, modern and traditional,
Yeah.
and we should be deciding on which we want to choose on the basis of our brand personality
Yeah.
and how we want our audience to perceive our brand. So that decides this. And there's no harm in experimenting, but we shouldn't be then declaring what our header font is, what our body font is,
Yeah.
till the time we get a clarity. And that brings me to the second point that you said, that we should be making a brand guideline wherein all these fonts are being clearly mentioned, all the typefaces are there.
Yeah.
Thirdly, you talked about visual hierarchy and why is it important to have that in place so that our user knows where they want to have their attention first. And it is a mechanism from our side also that, okay, we want our users to catch the headings first.
Yeah.
Because headers, see, as a content writer, I know like headers are the best way to, captivate your audience, like in very
Yeah.
short statements, but a huge impact. And lastly, you talked about this legibility.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, that was something really exciting for me to know, honestly. And now this brings to me on one more subject, which is related to brand building, and that is also a very important aspect, I feel. But let's keep it for another video.
Yeah.
Let's not discuss it in this.
Sure, sure.
So looking forward to that particular video as well.
Yeah, surely me too. Let's see how what you got.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Pradeep.
Thank you, Kaustav.